She's a 2-time PFL champion. She's a 2-time USA Olympic gold medalist. She's a 2-time mom, and she is an A1 top flight person. One of my favorite people. Thank you, Kayla Harrison of PFL and ATT. We're here at American Top Team in South Florida, Coconut Creek. And just curious, how are things going? We've got the big event coming up in November, Washington, D.C., the PFL Championships. You're going to be fighting on the main card in that one against Julia Budd. So just, how do you put this all in perspective? You haven't fought in a while.
It'll be a year by the time we get to the fight. So, you know, my perspective is gratitude. I'm grateful that this opportunity arose. I'm grateful for the time off even, to get to spend time with my children, to get to work on myself, I guess it was a different period for me. You know, I've been go my whole life. You talk about 2-time Olympic champion, 2-time PFL champion, mom of 2, like those are all things that require a lot of going and not a lot of being. So to have 10 months of getting to know myself was really good for me. Really, it was a growth period, and I'm just grateful for it. How
was it like at first? Just trying to get into that mode, because you're so used to go.
No, I said I'm grateful for it. I didn't say it was easy. When you've been type A and you've had one tournament a month since you were 12 years old, you know, sitting still and getting quiet and, you know, spending time with God actually was very hard for me. But I guess that's why all the hard things are usually the most rewarding, right? It was amazing. But I don't want to do it anytime soon.
Well, hey, during that time, I went to Jorge Masvidal's Game Bred fighting promotion.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm looking up at the big scoreboard, and I see on commentary, Kayla Harrison. I'm like, hey, what? No one told me this. What's going on here? What was that? How did that opportunity come for you, and what was that like doing that?
Yeah, George just, you know, he asked me if I wanted to commentate, and I've been doing a couple other local shows around here. I did Titan. Yeah, so I think that it's definitely an avenue I would like to pursue once I'm not inside the cage. What's the second best seat in the house, you know, is right outside of it. So I did a lot of exploring of other opportunities, you know, started managing a couple of fighters, doing some commentating. You know, like I said, I've been busy, but not in the way that I'm usually busy, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Bare knuckle, though, those boys are crazy.
That is so crazy. I was going to say, because you mentioned Titan FC. Well, that's MMA. And that's a really good promotion down here in Florida. And I'm just, so when you're seeing that action compared to what you're used to and all, how did you get ready for that and prepare, I guess, for that one?
Well, I actually kind of enjoy it a little bit more. I think because the knuckles are bare, so I was expecting like crazy, like bloody, disgusting, gory, gladiator type stuff, but actually fighters tend to grapple more because they're like, they want to save their hands. So I saw a lot of really beautiful grappling exchanges. I mean, it's MMA in its most pure form, right? Like we're going back to like the Olympic style wrestling. The next thing George is going to have him get in there naked, and we're going to really go back in time. I said, if
it might go viral.
Count me out. I draw the line somewhere, and that's it.
That's where it is. It's so cool. And then you mentioned Titan FC, which I didn't know about either. What was it like with them? There's been a lot of good talent coming through Titan FC.
No, Lex and I actually was slated to fight for Titan during my COVID year off. And Lex and I became good friends. He does a great job, takes good care of the fighters. And I really enjoy, I like staying active too, staying relevant. I don't love to watch MMA fights like on TV because I just end up falling asleep because I never watch TV. But to go and be live and see techniques and see them being performed and see different areas is, I mean, for me, it's also a learning experience. Never mind, you know, just getting to enjoy fights and working on my commentary skills, but I'm learning as a fighter at the same time. So,
do you find yourself, even though watching it is not your forte, because you want to get in there, go. Yeah. Exactly, you are a doer in everything. And I'm just curious, did you find yourself, though, if you did watch some, like, practicing commentary while you're watching and trying to get ready?
Well, I do a lot of, I guess, critiquing. I do a lot of criticism from my couch. Like,
But why not?
Like
Look at
most
what
people in their mom's basement do of me, then I sit on my couch and I'm like, why are they saying that? That's wrong. You know, like.
But the difference is you've done it. You've done it. The rest of us just sit there and we're like, oh, I can't believe this.
I'm a huge hypocrite. Wow.
No, you're not.
Kayla, check yourself.
No, I'm gonna disagree with that one because you've actually experienced it. You've done it. You've been in there and all. So you see things too, maybe differently.
And I think for me, the goal with the commentating, anyways, is just to remember like you don't have to fill every space with some bull crap to say. You can just watch it unfold, and if you see something insightful, okay, then speak up. But I think because I was so nervous, I would just and I'm like, dude, no one wants to hear you talk that much. Even you don't want to hear you talk that much. So zip it up, find something worth noting, and then make a statement.
Yeah. Less is more.
Less is more.
It's so true. So now we got this PFL World Championships Friday, November 24th at the Anthem in Washington, D.C. I like that, the Anthem in Washington, D.C. on ESPN Plus, and you're fighting Julia Budd. And talking with you in the past, I know you're more focused on you.
Absolutely.
That continues for you. Is that the mindset even for this training camp going in? Because you haven't competed in a while, but...
I mean, 10 months I've been, you can ask anyone at the gym. I've been here every day. I've been training.
When I've been here, I've seen you.
You've seen me here for the last 10 months. So it's not, I think the beautiful thing about trying to master an art, especially with my obsessiveness, is that when I'm in camp, it's not really, I'm not, oh, I gotta focus on this, I gotta focus on that, I gotta be careful of this, I gotta be careful of that. Like, it's okay. Now you're dialing in your nutrition, you're focusing on your recovery, you're getting your weight down because this will be at 145 pounds. You're doing all these things. And yeah, of course, I know exactly what she does and how she does it, and I study that. But really, it's about instilling my will, and that hasn't changed. So, from day one.
Do you learn? You've only had one loss. Incredible, just on the championships. No, it's true. But I'm curious, what do you learn from the loss? It's easy to win.
A lot. I learned a lot I think more about myself than the game. Of course, I made mistakes. I made mistakes. But for me, it was a big wake-up call for the way I was living my life. Like you said, fight after fight after fight. I was having 4 fights a year. I had 2 Olympics back-to-back. I didn't take days off. I would take a week off in between each fight. So I'm doing 2-a-days year-round. I'm 33 years old. I have 2 kids. It was a lot. And I was burning the candle at both ends. I had a lot of health issues come up. I had a lot of stuff happening, and it was a wake-up call to me like, hey, you're going to run yourself into the ground, and then you're never going to be able to do this again if you're not careful. And no, not taking anything away from Larissa. She had the better night. She was the winner. I have never lost. When it comes down to it, when it comes down to having to dig deep, like you're in overtime or you're in sudden death and you have to find a way to win. No one's ever had more in the tank than me. No one's ever been able to pull that out. And this was the first time in my life where it was 2-2 going into the 5th, and whoever pulled it out won the fight, and she won. And so for me, I had to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, why did that happen? Did you have a bad game plan? No. Did you train properly? Yes. Did you listen to your coaches to the best of my ability? Did you have the right people around you? Yes. So what was it? Well, it was the way I was living. It was the stress. It was just the chaos. You can only be in survival mode or growth mode. You can't be in both at the same time. And so I was in survival mode for a long time. I was getting to the next fight and getting to the next fight and getting to the next fight. And yes, I had enough experience, I had enough grit, I had enough whatever to win those fights. But eventually somebody comes along and they say, hey, I want this more than you. I have more in the tank than you. So you have to adjust. You have to make changes. And I think I'm grateful for it. I think I got by for a long time in survival mode, but now my mindset has shifted to growth, and I'm excited to see how big of an impact it has in my professional career. I know what an impact it's had in my personal life, but in my professional life, I'm excited to see the gains.
You say survival, and I'm curious too. Does enjoyment play a part of that as well?
For sure. No, this is a big piece of it, right? Like,
because Kayla, I watch you. No, I'm serious. I watch you, and you are just go out there aggressive.
Yeah.
Don't get in her way.
Yeah.
And then I'm wondering, is she enjoying it? I know you like the success and the fighting and the winning, of course. But is she enjoying it?
But by the end of last year, I wasn't. I didn't. You know, I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Robotic?
And 100%. And it's not a way to live life. It's not a way to enjoy life, for sure. And it's not how I want to raise my kids. It's not the example I want to set. And I do love MMA. But I think too much of anything is not a good thing. So, yeah, it was good for me to take time off. It was good for me to just train once a day and not have a fight and just focus on getting better and find the love again. Not that I didn't love it, but it was so buried underneath all of the expectations and responsibilities and the pressure I put on myself and the stress of everyday life that I kind of forgot that I do this for the love of the game.
Face of PFL. That also.
Used to be.
Face of PFL.
I got a lot of new faces.
Okay, well, part of the faces of PFL now, but still, that's also lends itself to more having to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that I think for sure the pressure I put on myself is so much bigger than anything external, but yeah, I just wasn't enjoying, I did not enjoy my life last year. I didn't. I mean, that's the truth. I didn't stop and smell the roses.
No.
I didn't breathe in, breathe out. I didn't, like, I was just like, next.
Yeah, next. I was going to say that. It's not what I just did. It's next. Okay,
Yeah.
what's next? Okay, what's next?
Yeah, even when I would win, like, it would be, I spent a lot of time reading all the comments about, you know, what a can crusher I was or how I looked like, and like, there just was no fulfillment or enjoyment out of the success. And I had to look at why. Like, what is the root problem, not the symptoms. Like, okay, these are all symptoms. I'm not enjoying my life. I'm burnt out. I'm getting sick. You know, a lot of these things are symptoms, but what's the root? And I mean, it sounds so corny, but I had to learn how to love myself and take care of myself and connect with God and, like, grow spiritually, like, in my soul. You know, I had to feed my soul, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. You have to feed your heart and your soul in situations. And this happens to people in all walks of life.
Of course.
It
I
happens.
think about this all the time. There are so many people every day who wake up and are robots or are in survival mode. You know, they go based off what they learned, how they grew up, what they were raised with, what they were taught, or they're literally in survival mode where they're living paycheck to paycheck and they're trying to make ends meet, or they're depressed, or they're, you know, addiction. I mean, there are a lot of people who are just surviving. And man, what a world this would be if we could figure out a way to go from survival mode to, I think, even just like being in the present moment, being here right now in this room with you, having this conversation, like experiencing God, like, in me and all around me. I think that the world would be like, it'd be how it was supposed to be, probably.
Thing is, I know with you, and even in that robotic state, you give back. You've always given back. And I think this is a moment here, or in the last year, that you'll be able to give back to others and talk to others going through things like that and all.
Absolutely.
I know you're passionate about things like that.
No, I am. And it's been good. It's been really good to, I started a judo class for my kids. So we, every Fridays I teach judo for free, just to people who want to learn, here at ATT. And yeah, it's been really good.
That is so cool, though. Yeah, to do things like that and all. I love that. I know that Johnny was part of a camp that Steve Mako had here as well. I didn't get to go, but that's just
amazing. Talking about Johnny, and still, the champ.
Yes!
He's a beast.
The machine. I call him the machine. That's my, I know he has, what is it, the human cheat code?
He has
but
like
I call him, yeah, he does have 1,000
Diamond
names.
Hands, cheat code, Korean something. I don't know. He goes all over the place.
Johnny, and what a great teammate, too.
Oh, he's a
I
great
see him
guy.
working with everybody and all as well.
No, he's a humble, hardworking, intelligent, good. You know, he's just what you want in a champion. He's the perfect. He's worked hard and earned everything he's got. You know.
Humble too. Wow.
I love it.
All right, let's wrap. We'll get this wrapped up. I'm really curious. Status with PFL. Do you have another fight after this left? So one more fight?
Yes. I'm not supposed to talk about my contract anymore.
Okay,
so.
that's fine. So we will
Skip.
go to the next chapter. And that is about, so I'm here today, obviously, and I see you with, and for you, this is like old hat. I see Coach Mike Brown. I see Coach Mako. Just what is it like?
Yeah.
I know I've asked you before,
Yeah.
but having these people here
it's the
and
best.
training here.
Today was beautiful because Anderson, Mike, and Mako were all in the building and all in the same place, all at the same time. I don't get that lucky very often because they are so sought after as coaches. So, you know, I mean, I have 2 kids. It's like they probably have 50 kids amongst all of us fighters. So trying to take care of all of us is, I mean, I'm grateful for all the time they put into me and all the work that they do. And I couldn't ask for a better team. I couldn't ask for a better support system. So I'm lucky.
On November 24th,
Black Friday.
PFL World Championships. Wow. Yes, that's right. The day, I didn't even know this, the day after Thanksgiving and all. So at the Anthem, Washington D.C. Will you be spending Thanksgiving then after the fight?
I haven't figured it out
No,
yet.
okay.
I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do, if the kids are gonna come with, or if we're gonna, I don't know.
Go back, turkey, all that stuff and all.
Yeah.
So
My mom might come stay with them, or they might all just come to the fight again. We'll figure it out. I got it.
it's holiday weekend, so at
I
least
know,
that makes
it's a little bit crazy.
It is.
Travel and stuff. And I don't know, do they want to spend Thanksgiving in a hotel? I gotta think about what's best for them, you know, and we'll go from there.
Do you know yet who will be in your corner for this one?
Mike Brown, Steve Mako, Anderson Franca, and of course the legendary Big Jim Pedro. He'll be there.
The Dream Team.
The Dream Team.
The Fab Four
Yeah.
of KH. Yes.
No, it's a hell of a team. Who would mess with me when you got those 4 guys behind you? You know what I mean? Just like flanking me. Just like,
Even if you didn't have the 4 guys, I wouldn't mess with you, Kayla. I know that right now. Look, I'm backing up. I'm like, Kayla, don't get mad at me. I didn't say anything. What'd I say?
I'd never
What'd I
be
say?
mad at you.
What'd I do? Josh Silvera, he's going to be fighting the finals. Then we get several people, but I real quick just about Josh, and I love
Yes,
Josh. He's
he's
another
great.
humble guy.
No, great kid. Obviously, amazing dynasty for Conan and his son now fighting. I think this is an amazing opportunity for him. He's just been getting better and better and better and better. And I know from experience that it'll change his life. I can't wait to see. I can't wait. I'm pumped for him. There's something very special about that night, right? Like there's no other night like it in MMA. You know, there are 6 world titles on the line, $6 million, and people's lives will be changed forever based on the outcome. So it's awesome. I'm excited for it.
All right, Kayla. So now we will wrap this up, and of course, Kayla, I have to, you know, as a good reporter, journalist, or at least somewhat, anyway. You have to end it.
Great reporter.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but you have to end it with all the tough questions, Kayla. So
go.
I got it. You know,
Hit me with
again,
the
don't get
shot.
mad at me. Should I back up? Don't get mad at me. All right. So, do you have your Halloween costume yet?
No, my children. I want to be like that cool mom who gets us all matchy, but one kid wants to be a vampire and the other kid wants to be Lima the emu from the Liberty Mutual commercial.
Yes.
We have 2 emus now, so now she wants to be an emu. Or no, she wants to be the kid Carl with the mustache, but then take the emu trick-or-treating. And I'm like, that's not happening. We are not letting the emu out of the property. Like, that is disaster written all over it. But she's still trying to convince me. So I don't know. I'm probably just going to be like a circus, like, director or something, because that's what it feels like at my house most days. Like, I'm just like a leader of a 3-ring circus. So I'll just get like a top hat and a nice
The red coat.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that would be great. That would be so.
That's actually a great idea.
So awesome.
My
And-
son wants to be a vampire, and he doesn't even know what a vampire is. He's 4.
Well-
I'm like, where did you learn vampire? Like, where did this even... He's like, you know, I want the teeth with blood, but Mom, it's fake blood. It's not real blood. Don't worry. It's fake blood. And I was like, thank you for telling me. I was concerned.
I'm thinking Catboy. All the kids love. A lot of the kids love.
yes.
That's right. See, Catboy. My
I
great.
think I'm getting him. So he is obsessed with cats. Even when he came to stay with me, his favorite stuffed animal was a little cat. Daniel Tiger, big hero in our house. I can even do the voice, like when I read the books. But So I think I'm getting him a cat for his birthday. His birthday's a week before Halloween. So we might add one more circus act to the circus.
Kayla, you're doing voices?
Oh, I do a lot of voices.
Yes.
I got all kinds of things. You know, I'd be reading stories every night. I got my Irish. I got Daniel Tiger. Terrific. I got all kinds of voices. Don't ask me to do any more though, because I did just spar.
You are a Jill of all trades. It's amazing. I'm learning things with Kayla and all. And like I said, I have to wrap this up because she's been so gracious with her time. I so appreciate her. Will you be giving out candy? Will you be giving out candy?
I don't know, because then who will take my kids?
Yeah, right.
I can't be at two places at once.
You cannot. Well,
I might leave
I don't know. You're Kayla
out.
Harrison. I don't know now.
If anyone can do it, no.
Leave the bucket out.
Leave
Leave the
really
pumpkin out.
long too, so it's like I don't think anyone's gonna. There's no lights. It's like in the middle of the stage.
It's just not a place.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So I will leave a bucket of candy out, and I think I'm gonna be one of those cool people who leaves like the big candy bars.
Oh.
That's
yes.
the right. I don't like you hit that house and you were like you knew like
it's gold.
Jackpot. Jackpot. So the kids who do dare to come out to our road, you're gonna get big candy bars.
Well compensated. Yes, that's how Kayla Harrison
I'll
does
make it
Halloween.
worth it, yeah.
Yes, she does. And you have favorite Halloween candy.
Ooh.
Are we going Starburst, Reese's, Almond Joy?
I mean, I'm a chocolate girl through and through.
Hershey's Kisses, Snickers.
Yeah, I did used to always love Snickers growing up. Snickers was my jam. Like, hungry, grab a Snickers.
Hey, and you know what? You might be able to do some sponsorship now with this stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you've done anything like that, but maybe. Maybe that's in your future.
I do have sponsors.
Maybe it's in your future. Who
Maybe,
knows?
we'll see.
All right, Kayla Harrison. Friday, November 24th, Black Friday. So you don't know that. You learned something. At the Anthem, Washington, D.C, PFL on ESPN Plus. It's the World Championships. She's done it twice before. She's going to be fighting on the main card. She's going to be getting it done against Julia Budd. And I'll just end it with this, Kayla. Liberty, 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 liberty.
My kids go around the house all day.